Hello, guys. Welcome back to TRP Talk. And today we're going to talk about Harry Potter, the reboot that's coming
Well,
up.
reboot, right? It's they're doing the same stuff but a different way, right?
Wait,
It's a TV show rather than movies, but they're not like changing anything.
no, they're not really changing anything. It's except the casting, of course, because the old casting they're like in their 30s, so they cannot play teenagers and preteens
Little
anymore.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah,
but and it's just like from what I've seen online, the big question is, do we need it?
that's true.
Do we need it? I mean, do we really need it?
In my humble opinion, not so humble sometimes. No, we don't. We don't because Harry Potter was perfect.
Well,
Okay, perfect.
as far as making an adaptation from the book to the movie, they did a very good job.
Yeah, they did
right?
a
They
very good job. It's one of the top series out there. Like every time another series like it comes out, everybody's always comparing it to Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings,
Mhm.
and Star Wars. They're the top three. Everybody's always trying to compare it to them. So I'm pretty sure those directors they did something right.
Right.
That people who grew up on those movies, who are big fans, feel like they're getting betrayed. Some of them, and some of them feel like their childhood is going to be ruined, especially with now day and age where everything has to be politically correct, like transgenders, races, and stuff, female cast and it just ruins a lot of the show because you're going to be like that's one of my biggest fear before I realized it was going to be a TV show because I'm like, well, you're going to make it so Hermione is going to be like the main character now. She's going to do way more than she's
Yeah,
supposed to
but
do.
they can't do that though, because it's called Harry Potter,
They
right?
did it to The Witcher. They can do it to Harry
Yeah,
Potter
okay,
too.
The Witcher, fine, but like it's called Harry Potter. It's
The
not called
Witcher is
Hermione
called
Granger.
The Witcher.
Whatever, you can't do that. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I'm sure that most people are out there who are like die-hard Harry Potter fans. I'm pretty sure that most of them don't want to see this
Of
happening.
course, of course.
Maybe it's too soon, or just maybe never do it.
Mhm.
Just don't ever
Mhm.
do it. Uh, and I agree. I'm like, I like what they did. I think it was really good. In
Mhm.
my mind, Harry Potter will always be Daniel Radcliffe. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
I don't know where you're gonna find another dude like Snape.
Oh man,
Like everything about that guy was just
he,
right.
he was born to
You
be
know?
Snape.
Like his face, the way he speaks, like you are Snape,
Yeah.
and he's gone now. So
True.
I'm like, you're gonna find someone else, and we're always going to be comparing the new people to
Mhm.
the old people.
Yeah.
And any little bitty thing that they do that you're
Mhm.
like,
Even though
"Meh,"
it's supposed to be
Yeah.
all right.
and it's probably gonna be fine, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, nah,
Yeah, people
the
are going
old
to
cast
bash
would have
it.
done it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it's gonna be hard to
Mhm.
do it so well that people are okay with it. That's gonna
Mhm.
be really hard.
Mhm. See, like when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a full movie reboot. Like so
Oh,
they're
just
going
like
to
making
do
the
yeah,
movies.
just like the first one.
That
I'm
would-
like, oh man,
they
this
can't do that.
sucks so bad. But then I realized, and then they came out and they said it's going to be a TV show. I'm like, huh. Now I don't really care that much anymore because even if that sucks, I still have the good one.
You still have the movies.
Yeah, I
That's
still
true.
have the movies.
And I do agree with you there.
Yeah,
'Cause,
and
yeah.
that's like I feel like that's a reason why they won't be uh, like that criticized. Like people won't be that harsh on it. No,
they'll
people
still-
will. No. Don't get me wrong. People will still be harsh and bashing them. But the thing is, because we still have the movies who are there, it's going to be less.
Right, you can always just
Yeah.
disregard that
Yeah.
that TV show was ever
It's
made.
different with Star Wars. Star Wars didn't do a reboot, but they added the movies. They
Yeah,
kept
they
on
just made
going,
more movies, yeah.
and they ruined the franchise because of it. They did.
I'm sure that's
And they
debatable.
no. It's not debatable. The box office did this. It tanked.
Huh.
And the last movie, it's what did they say? Oh, it's delayed until further notice. I'm like, oh wow.
Indefinitely.
So I'm like, wait, nobody's watching it? Of course nobody's watching it.
I
Like-
just don't know why with Star Wars. I'm like, do they really feel the need that they have to keep going? I mean, I'm sure that folks are. I mean, if they were doing it like really well,
Like Harry Potter did.
then it's fine if it keeps going. But like, when you start like
Or the Lord of the
freestyling
Ring
too
did.
much, no, the Lord of the Rings, they stopped at
No.
three, and then they made the Hobbit, but that's like
But that's what I'm saying. The Hobbit is
that's
talking
a
about
prequel.
It's the same thing with Harry Potter when they did the Fantastic Beasts. It's the prequel. But the thing is, they knew both of the stories, Lord of the Ring and Harry Potter, knew and know how to do it. So they didn't flop until
Until
they
got
fired
rid
Johnny
of
Depp.
Johnny Depp.
then
They didn't realize Johnny Depp was like the backbone of that
the
stuff.
thing is, people love Johnny Depp so much, and as soon as you introduced him in something, people want to see
You
him.
put
through
him
and
in
through.
there, and he did a great Grindelwald.
Oh,
It's
he
like,
did fantastic.
all right, here we go. We're here for you, and
Yeah.
then you just get rid of him for no real because that's not a real reason. Whatever that's not a real reason to get
wasn't.
rid of.
It wasn't.
I'm like, it's him. Like, leave him there. Like, why would
Yep,
you?
yep.
So yeah, they deserve that. Nobody wanted to watch that
now
third
now
movie.
now it's flopped. It flopped. Nobody wants to see another one, unless if they tease, well, we got Johnny Depp back. People will go watch it. If they bring him back and they just advertise him,
But you know what?
people
They
are going to go
can't
back.
undo that third movie.
yes, they can. They did it with Sonic. They did it with different
I'm
other
sorry,
stuff.
I'm laughing because I'm remembering that
that Sonic,
hedgehog.
that hedgehog. Oh man, that was so bad.
That was really really bad.
That was
I'm like,
very bad.
considering like the time period it came out. I'm like, guys, you have
I
tech.
feel like they wanted to make him as real as possible,
And-
but that's a mistake.
So as real as possible, you like put a dude in a Sonic suit. Like really?
But no, because
I'm like, come on.
if you take a hedgehog and you're trying to draw him and making him look realistic, that's what it's going to look like.
There is a computerized way to do it better.
No, but of course, but some people will argue it was marketing. So
But that was horrible.
it was a very good marketing approach because it got way more views.
That
Because of
people
it.
watched that movie.
Yes, no, because when they did that, the internet outraged, and it gave more popularity
Oh,
to the
because
movie.
folks. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
now
fine.
people are interested. Hey, what's going on? There's this going on,
I just
and
want
they
to
check.
see if it's really
Yeah,
that bad.
and then
went
they
and watched
fix
the movie.
it, and people watch it.
Okay. Well,
So there's a debate, but with the Grindelwald stuff, like
yeah, they shouldn't have got rid of him.
see,
But anyway, back to Harry Potter
Yeah,
because
back
that's
to
really
Harry
what
Potter.
we're here
Yeah.
for. Honestly, I do side with a lot of people who say it's too soon. I think it's just that's one of the things I mentioned earlier when we were just talking.
I agree,
Off the camera.
I agree.
I'm like, the last movie. I feel like the last movie just it hasn't been long enough. It hasn't been long enough. Now, again, as you said, it's not a movie.
Mhm.
It's a TV show,
a TV
so
show.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's just it's
So
just
that's another part of it. That's why I don't get it. Why you calling it a reboot? It's not the same thing. It's a TV show. It's not a reboot. A reboot. You're doing your own thing.
right.
Yeah. So I don't get it. You don't call it a reboot if it's not.
Well, I think that's just what I don't think they're calling it a reboot. I think people are just calling it that,
Mhm.
but it's not. Because
Oh,
reboot
okay.
is just like a start over,
Mhm.
right? Which they're not.
It's not really a
technically
start
starting
over.
over.
Yeah.
They're not making more movies. But again, it's like it's the same story,
Mhm.
so it is a reboot in that sense
Yeah.
that they're going to just be doing the same story
Mhm.
over again. Now
Yep.
there are good things about it being a TV show that everybody has thought about. Of course, you can fit more stuff into the episodes than you can in the movie from the book,
Yeah.
right? Which is probably what is going to be the saving grace here for this stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna be garbage or whatever, but even if it was bad, at least you have like stuff that you can recognize from the
Yeah.
book and be like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's in the book and it's
Yeah,
not in the
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
So like you can appreciate that.
So
But
But-
and
yeah.
if they can do it well and cast well, because the cast
Yeah,
is
the
like
casting is very
really,
important.
really
Yeah.
critical here. If they can cast really well and just do it well, then it's going to be something that people are going to be very pleased about, because they're gonna be able to really see the stuff that was left out.
And I
from
feel
the
like
movies.
that's what they should have done with Star Wars. They should have went with the TV show approach
instead of a bunch of movies.
Yes, because the issue with movies or things or anything in general that has a huge fan base is once it's there, people don't want you to touch it.
Right. Don't change it.
Don't
It's-
change
it's
it.
good. It's working.
It's
Don't change
good.
it.
That's what we want. Even if it's 100 years later, people still want it the way it was.
Right. You can make it again 100 years later, but it
Good.
can't be. It has to be like the first one.
Exactly. People like don't ruin what. That's what's going on with Naruto. Okay, they didn't give it in my opinion. They shouldn't have done Naruto.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
because they did it and they didn't know how to do
And
it.
it came out so like right away too. Like
It wasn't really that, but
how
yeah,
many years was it between?
Five.
Don't say 5 because it wasn't 5.
Four, because Naruto. Don't forget, Naruto ended in 2014, 15.
Did it?
Yeah, around there. Let me make sure. Let me make sure.
Look, if he made Boruto like now, it wouldn't be so bad.
True.
And hopefully, no, in fact, it would still be bad because that one guy is drawing it. That apprentice of his or whatever.
Yeah.
If it was him making it now, it'd be fine. It wouldn't be so bad. In fact, it wouldn't be bad. It would be fine.
See, Naruto ended in November 10th, 2014. 2014.
Okay, and when did Boruto come out?
I think like, I'm telling you, it's like 5 years.
Because for me, who was
when
watching,
did
for those who watch the
Boruto-
episodes, because if that's the manga, right?
Mhm.
If that's the manga, then the episodes ended that much later. The
Oh,
actually
wow.
animated stuff.
Oh, wow, you were right.
Yeah,
That was too close.
How-
2017.
you see.
Man.
And for those who are watching the episodes didn't end in 2024 14 because
Yeah.
they only
Yeah.
give you one a week.
Yeah.
So it ended like maybe like a year later or something of the
mhm.
sort. So it's like I just finished watching the episodes of Naruto. Now Boruto's right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
And it's just like let me digest. Okay.
See, that's the issue with things that has already a pace or like something to copy from. Movies that come out from for books, or TV show coming out from books, or novels, or anime that comes out from the manga. That the manga has other novels.
Yeah. Now look, anime does that really well, right? To go from just the anime to the
Yeah,
the
but
the
where they
videos.
ruin the thing is when they want to do like a continue, like they
I want to like do a sequel.
they want to do a sequel, just like in Boruto. They mess up because they think, you know what, the manga is over, let's just leave it at that and make something new. But at the same time, you're like, wait, like for Naruto, okay, the manga is over, but there are still parts of the manga that weren't explained, things that we don't know about, things that were just overlooked, and others we still have these novels that explain a lot of stuff
Yeah, so-
that happens after the manga ends.
So they should really do like
Yeah.
a spin-off or a side story.
Yes.
Really. And I do agree. That would be more interesting to the people, I think, to
Yeah.
be like, oh, yeah, you know what? You were wondering about, I don't know, Snape or whatever. And then you make,
Yeah.
you know, some Snape side story.
Exactly.
Or whatever. But of course, it has to be, I mean, if it's in the book, right? Because
But-
in this specific thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is this? Harry Potter, right? If they have a book that has
True.
like some unexplained life of Snape.
Yeah.
Now for the animated stuff, manga and such, if there is, as you say, like already like a novel, say about like that Ichiraku ramen guy, or you know, like he used to be a ninja or whatever. Sure, you know, like make a movie out
Yeah.
of it or something.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm sure
Yep.
folks would watch it. You know, like
Yeah, like just, or the best move ever, just make a prequel. That's all. Like we know about the First World War, the Second War, the third, the fourth. You're like, okay, we know about this, but we don't know about those three. We know about the fourth one. We saw it in the
The
anime,
fourth Great Ninja War.
but we don't know about the first, the second, or the third.
Yeah, a little bit about the third.
But still, but not in
But
details.
right. And then if you just make a side story like that, it's just it's like it's literally the name is really appropriate here. It's a side. It's not the main dish. So
Yeah.
it's like, I can have this, but if it's not great, it doesn't ruin the main dish. And if they were doing that here for this Harry Potter thing, I mean, this being a TV show still kind of makes it like a side thing, but it's the main story. It's it's like
The only difference will be more accuracy to the book. Like you can put more details, I guess.
you
But
can, but that's kind of it, really.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
all.
It's gonna be episodes. It's gonna be shorter, but that's really it. I mean, but it also means that you can I guess you have more to show, right? You have more to show because you have more episodes. I'm assuming that episodes come out once a week, like they usually do. Like people can spend more time watching Harry Potter than when they were just watching the movie, because the movie is like 3 hours and then that's it, right?
yeah.
But the TV show, you're gonna have a whole season of however many episodes, and then second season, third season. I don't know how many seasons they're gonna have, but like imagine they have like 10 seasons. That's like 10 seasons worth of Harry Potter they're gonna be watching, which is many more hours compared to all the movies combined. So in that sense, if it's really good and they can do that, then they're really gonna be promoting that to then even the people who weren't watching Harry Potter or weren't reading about it, or who I don't know if such people exist, never heard about it. Like
No, some people do.
Gonna,
Some people do. Like
I haven't met anybody
I'm
who's
pretty
been
sure
like,
people-
oh, I don't know what Harry Potter. I'm
people
like, how do
in
you
communist
not know?
countries probably don't, especially like China, that restricts people from viewing like other countries, especially the US and like the east side of the world, like the UK, the France and stuff, and America. They restrict the viewing. Like for example, people in North Korea, I'm pretty sure they never. Some of them never.
North Korea is like a special case.
But,
You can't like pick the most extreme case.
But I picked China.
No, China is like, you can go to China. Can you go to North Korea?
Yes, you can, but you
How
have to-
hard do you have
know,
to work
it's-
to get in?
It's not that hard, but you need
People
to, like,
can't even
be
leave North
very
Korea, dude.
careful.
No.
You have
It's
to be
like
very careful going there.
you don't just say, hey, I'm gonna book a flight ticket to North Korea. Okay, you don't just do that.
No, you don't. Yeah,
So, but you can just book a flight to China.
yeah.
So it's not the same thing here.
But still, like people in Russia, some of them probably haven't seen them, and some parts of Europe, some people haven't seen it.
it's popular enough that, I mean, us in Africa, we've seen the movies. So
Yeah.
please, I'm like,
But-
yeah, they've seen it. But my point is, if there's such people as that, and I'm not talking about people who don't have access to it, but people who do, but just like never cared or whatever. If this is really good, it might make enough ripples to like interest more people.
True, agree. And on that note, I think we're done about this.
Yeah, not too much should be said here.
Yeah, not too much to be said, except please don't ruin it, because it will be like a great addition to what we already have.
It would be.
If this is like a major success, and please.
But how likely is it to be I mean,
No, when I say
major success, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing like affordable, mild success.
No, okay. When I say like major success, is like they checked all the boxes that people want, and they don't exaggerate on ridiculous nonsense.
Yeah.
Like cultural nonsense that nobody wants.
There's things that we definitely don't want. We should definitely mention, right?
No.
Like you were saying earlier today, you don't want to see a black Dumbledore.
No, okay, look, guys. I'm fortunate enough to be black, so I can speak on this. And
it doesn't even matter what color you are.
Because
honestly,
some people who are white, and when they speak, oh, I don't want to see a black Dumbledore. Oh, you racist, blah 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 blah. And yeah, because some people are so.
So if you say you don't want to see a white Dumbledore, that makes you racist. I think people are just like, That's not how racism works. Anyway,
It's stupid, but I believe like Dumbledore should never be white.
what?
I mean black. I mean, you don't cast a black Dumbledore. Harry Potter, Hermione, Ron, they have to be white. I don't
Okay,
care.
so
I
so
don't
why
care.
do they have to be white?
Because the book says so.
Oh, the book says they're
Yes. No,
white. No, or the book says they're English
no. The book refers them as English, but the thing is,
or
they
British.
they describe what they are. You don't see a black man, ginger black man. You don't see it. So when they describe Ron being a ginger and explaining how his hair is curly and blah 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 blah, I'm not picturing a black guy in my head. I'm not. No, let's be honest here. Okay, I'm not picturing a black guy in my head. What I'm picturing is a young fellow, Caucasian, like with some freckles, who's a ginger and who's British. Probably he's like from Ireland or something. You know, that's what I'm picturing. Same thing for
So then
Hermione.
he wouldn't be British if
Yes.
he's from Ireland, right?
I mean, what are those guys that are in the UK who are redhead? Scottish, right? Whatever.
If the book said he's British, just keep him British.
Okay, okay, whatever. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's
Because
Caucasian.
the accent, anyway. I mean, unless the young kid can like tweak his accent
Mm-hmm.
and say like he's from like, oh, I don't know, some other like the Irish can have like that
Yeah.
Irish accent, you know.
Mhm.
But like if he can like tweak his accent to make it like sound more like
like okay,
English?
wherever you're from, you just have to be ginger. And if you're not, just
dye your
dye
hair.
your hair. That'll be fine. I'll be fine with it too. But the
But
main
but
thing,
for a black guy, he
you
can't even dye his hair.
Don't. Man.
It's funny. It's funny. No, but I agree. I agree. Okay,
Yes.
and I think people shouldn't be offended by this stuff. I'm like, hey, we're just following a script. Okay, if there's like a character that's kind of like an open-ended character, like he could be whatever, feel free to freestyle, you know. But
true,
like,
true, of course.
there is like this strange need where people feel forced to like include every race in like a movie or something.
I don't.
Like,
I don't think.
do
I
it.
don't think so. Like for example, okay, when you look at Star Wars, that's where you're like, okay, those guys, they went a bit too far, because like most of the like the first movie that came out, most casts were white. And there were particularly like 2 female or something, and I'm like, okay. Now you guys are going too
No,
far.
because like, but there's also like all those beasts and those weird.
But if you were
alien
able
guys?
to include them, why can't you include the rest? No, okay.
We had Mace Windu. That's good enough.
I'm fine with it, because some movies, even like where I don't really, I'm
and
not
then
a fan.
and then even you know what? Who cares? I mean, honestly, who care? Why do people care? Are you here to like just watch the movie, or are you here to like see some political stuff that you want to see?
Okay, nowadays it became political, but back in the day when they stated that we need to have a diverse race in movies, it made sense, because most movies were just made by white people, and the directors were white, and they were stopping other race from coming up. So I understand that. Like back in the day, I'm like,
But is that
that's good.
just because it was racism, or only because most actors, good actors, were white people?
But for example, if you're black and you're good, and most movies have white people, and the director is white, and he cast only white people, how are you going to get recognized?
If this director has a movie that he wants to make or whatever, direct, and this is supposed to be a story about white folks, it doesn't matter that you're black and that you're good.
No.
This is supposed to be about white folks.
No,
Now,
that
again,
I'm fine with.
if there is some open-ended character, then he's free to freestyle.
Yeah.
You know, I just...
Like background characters. So that's why when people went off on J.K. Rowling, oh well, J.K. blah blah blah, she's racist, she's transphobic, and then you check what she said as transphobic, you're like, please shut up. She's not. She's just voicing her opinion. But at the same time, you
And
look
then
at her
it's
movies.
also... Okay, look, I don't agree with anybody who would say anything to that woman about her stuff. This is her story, okay? She can say, I don't want one Asian guy in there. It's
You
her
don't want black.
story.
Don't care. Yeah.
It's her story. I just picked Asian. It could be any color, but it's her story. She can do whatever she wants. It's her story. Like,
Yeah, but
What are you gonna do?
People don't get that. Like people, and the ones who don't are usually like not mature enough to understand that it's his right to do so, and it's your right to not watch it because you don't see what you're looking for. Then
right,
what you're
and
looking
then
for.
just
Yeah.
shut up and don't, and
I know,
don't
right?
watch it.
But back to this Harry Potter thing, I don't want to see the main cast in different races than what the book says. So, if the book says, like for example, what's that girl that Harry was so attracted to? That Asian girl?
Cho.
Yeah. Was it? That was her last name, right?
No, I think that's her first name.
No, her first name. That's not Cho. Her first
I
name is
think
not Cho.
I think it's well, one of her names is Cho.
Okay, that Asian girl in the book, she's not described.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
She's not described to a point where you're like, oh, it's this race. No,
Exactly. So then there you
Then
need the director
freestyle.
freestyle is like, let me pick.
I'm
you know,
fine
and
with it.
That's good.
yes.
But if the book says it has to be this way, just do it this way.
See,
Just do it
you
that
you
way.
have a book where they explain the main character. Oh, his eyes are so deep, raging with anger. You can see the blue Lokoi color coming out, and you're like, blue. And then you see in the movie, it's a black guy.
Well,
I'm like,
if you do pick one of, because there is those folks that are black with blue
True,
eyes.
true.
Now,
but most books have more details.
exactly.
That you
Because
realize,
if that was the only description of the main character, you can make it anyone.
yeah, you
with
can
blue
make
eyes.
it anyone. So, but when the details are
Oh,
way
but
too
I
clear,
just thought about
okay.
this too. You can just get contacts.
No, but that's when we say when the details are not too profound, where you
Right.
just explain
Right.
vaguely. But once it's like well detailed, like J.K. Rowling did, I don't want to see nobody else than the white cast that I saw. That's all
So
I care
did
about.
she describe Dumbledore?
She does. She does. She
Yeah.
does describe Dumbledore. She does describe Hermione, Ron, and
Right.
and Harry. She describes Snape. That's why he's the way he is. Black hair, short, cut on the side, like even the facial expression, the color, and she described. So she was able to describe Voldemort. Like he has like a.
This weird nose he has going on.
She describes it very well. His skin is pale, like white, but it's so a bit green and blah 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 blah.
Right. So to not go into much detail, it's just if you're gonna make a TV show, which should be including more detail from the book, just
Then
just,
whatever
just,
nonsense
just
that
include
the
the
society-
details. Just do it. Don't worry about none of that. Fitting in all the colors of the people. Just do what she said, because that's what the people who are real Harry Potter fans want to see, right?
Yep.
Because it's the fans who are really like the big crowd here watching this. It's not some person who just doesn't care. The fans are the ones that you want, and the fans want to see the details of the book in the series. So just do that, and then wherever it's open-ended, freestyle. And that's also respectful to the author to do that.
I
you know?
agree. I agree. So on that note, don't do a black Dumbledore. I won't be watching this. But except that, good job. Keep on going. And this was the TRP talk, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya.